Welcome everybody to our Galactic Ruler developer vlog. I'm George, one of the founders and lead programmer of BattleGoat Studios. Right now I'm here in the office relatively all alone, except for Eric, who's trying to keep this video rolling. Unfortunately, most of our developers are working remotely right now, so that makes life a little bit interesting. Wanted to talk for just a minute about our Galactic Ruler Early Access release. First of all, thank you to everybody who's taken part in the early access or made comments on the early access or looked at the early access. We've really come off to a great start, and I really appreciate all the feedback we're getting from everybody as the game has come out. Did want to touch on a couple of things very quickly. One of the important things when we're looking at our Steam store page, we do have our Galactic Ruler roadmap there. Our roadmap is as important as ever. It's not quite as detailed as this one. And our roadmap is as important as ever because it tells players what's in the game right now and what isn't as our development goes on. We know that this is early access. In fact, it's early access. And it is important that people know that all the game features aren't there and things are being developed on an ongoing basis. One of the things I wanted to make sure people are aware of is we actually have two development tracks. We have our default builds, which will be probably released on a weekly basis, plus or minus. And we also have what's called the fast track build. So when you're in Steam and you're going to be looking at your Steam library, if you right click and go to properties and go to betas, you'll see there's the opt out of beta programs. That's our default weekly builds. They're going to be a little more stable and a little more subject to a little bit more testing. And then there's going to be our fast track builds, which could actually appear once or twice a day. So in some cases, they'll often be our latest development builds, and they will also often have some what we call in the development community regression errors. Things where we'll fix one problem and create three new ones and not notice. So they'll definitely be a little bit less stable, but you'll also be getting the latest features as we go on. In fact, since our early access release, we've had some exciting stuff already appearing in our fast track builds. A lot of people have mentioned that, preparing to launch. A lot of people have mentioned that performance at the galaxy level was very sluggish in frames per second, and when you have bigger galaxies, often here at the studio we test with smaller galaxy sizes, so we didn't notice that as much. That's something that's been resolved, and we'll be getting further action in our fast track builds and in our next builds coming up. And one of the big problems, of course, people were dumped into the game with no tutorial and not much of a help system. And so we are working on getting more help, more features that will walk players through some of the items that are coming up. So even then, some of those things aren't going to come very quickly. We're going to be developing them slowly as we go along. But again, we thank everybody who's been helping us out with the feedback and with all the information to start getting this development really going strong on the early access. As the last thing right now, I'd like to thank all, as well as thanking everybody who's given us feedback. I want to, each week we'll be reaching out to one of our community members that's given us some particularly good, in our opinion, feedback, suggestions, or assistance in our early access process. For our first week, the winner of our swag kit is going to be XB Walker, who has on Discord and through other means given us some great feedback, and in fact he's actually done a graphic of the Galactic Ruler tech tree and is making some terrific suggestions on all layers of the game. So thanks XB Walker. As soon as we can get a swag kit together, we'll reach out to you, get your address, and get that on its way to you, and we'll be picking somebody each week as a way of thanking you for your involvement in our development process. So again, thanks, and check in a few days with our next update. We're going to be trying to keep you up to date on things as we're going as much as we can with our all our remote work, but hopefully Chris and I and the rest of the studio can get you a lot more feedback as our development continues. So for now, thanks a lot, and talk to you in a couple of days.